I just started the stream.
Did you try switching the encode into the GPU? No.
Uh, no, it's encoding with the CPU.
Yes, I told you earlier to try switching to the GPU to see what happened and increase the resolution too while you were at it. Right, on my live channels, this I don't know what's the criteria that Twitch uses to show me live channels. One is streaming Fallout 76, 66 people. The other one is streaming the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, 45. Another Elder Scrolls, 79. Battlefield 6, only 20. So you see, it's not easy to get out of the general population. One is women is streaming World of Warcraft. These are the live channels that Twitch is suggesting to me. I don't know why, what criteria, because I don't play any of these games. Cherry01 is streaming World of Warcraft, 32 people watching. Another one streaming Scrolls 53.
I
Okay,
found the video. I'm seeing the
Porra,
one you
took you
sent.
this long.
I wanted to be able to pull it up, but every time I open Twitch, the fucking thing tried to show like my whole fucking life information.
It's not a Twitch, it's a Twitter video.
Twitter rather.
Now called X, but even the Musk imbecile is asked people the other day if they wanted if they thought he should switch back to Twitter, because of course X is a fucked up. You don't take a well-known brand like Twitter with the bird that tweets. That's why Twitter, and then you change it to X. Another imbecile. How can these imbeciles have billions and billions of dollars? Okay, this guy had inherited a lot of it from his family, but even then,
Nah, they're not very smart.
don't show it on the stream.
Why not? People should see it. I agree. Police should act professional.
Yeah, professionalism was the first thing that went out of the window. They went to make something funny that they found funny. It's funny for them, not funny for the person. The person right there is not being has not been judged. A judge has not passed sentence on him saying that he's guilty. You are supposed to be innocent until you have the right to a fair trial. That's how things have worked since.
It doesn't matter if he's guilty or not. I mean, part of his punishment isn't being fucking humiliated.
No, the whole point is that if it weren't a random black person in a favela, this would never have happened.
But I mean, you get what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if he's guilty, even if he is guilty.
Yes,
The judge
okay.
doesn't have the right to fucking say, "Hey, we're gonna punish you by having the police demean you and show that you're lower class than them, and that there's obviously layers to society and you're at the bottom."
Yeah, that's the point. You get it.
This is like a sports meme thing, isn't it? Like they do, like do to your opponent when you're about to beat them at a game or something. Like it doesn't make in the
It's good.
context of arresting a person. It's just
It's good that you mentioned that because I have seen more than one person complaining of the animation that shows when somebody is about to knock you out
Always
in
welcome
arc
here.
traders. They find it is kind
Make it
of
quick or take your time.
demeaning,
Easily
humiliating,
is fine.
because it looks like the person is having a lot of a play, getting a
It's all
taking a
yours.
lot of play. But then it's a game. I'm not gonna get into that. I
There you
don't
go.
agree and I don't disagree. You might be nitpicking, but since you said that, there's that.
It is very similar motion. I mean, but when you put it that way and think of it in comparison to the ARC Raiders, it's like, hey, we're guys taking pleasure in killing his opponent and saying,
Yeah,
hey, I beat you.
that's what people some people are complaining about, but I don't really care because okay, it's game and it fits the thing. Not saying that I think it is the best way to take a person out in the game, but I'm not gonna start any campaigns about that. But that video, I woke up and the first time I watched it was it, and I was mad because lots of people, including Mega, found it so funny. And then I ask you again, what if it was Mega's son there? Would he be thinking it was so funny that those two pigs did that to his son and then posted the video on social media so thousands and thousands of people would watch his son being treated that way?
I mean, any of us are closer to being homeless, arrested by the police, or shaken down for everything we own than we are to being in any position of power or control. I mean, 1,000 times.
Yeah, when I was in Rio, actually the only time I was kind of robbed was here in NF. But before I went to Rio, it was in the 80s, and it was just two teens that pretended they had knives and something like that. But during the whole time I was in Rio, I was never robbed or something like that. There was one incident when I was coming from Niterói. Niterói is a city. It has like 500,000 people. It's like you have Rio, you have Guanabara Bay, which is a big bay, and on the other side of the bay there is Niterói. So they are all kind of twin cities. And I used to go a lot to Niterói, and there was a bus, of course, that you could take, or you could take the ferry boat, which is very nice. But I wasn't in the bus, and then the bus stopped at the corner. And this a bunch of kids, probably from a favela in Niterói, jumped in and started robbing people. One of them had a gun. He was very cute, by the way. He had this straight belly, and he had this gun like stuck into his shorts. We call them bermudas because they are more like short trousers, and it was showing. And when this kind of thing happened, no, none of these people ask me for money or anything. They just leave me alone. I don't know why. But the thing is, the girl in the seat in front of me in the bus, they wanted their cell phone, and she was not wanting to give it to them, and one of them was kind of getting nervous. So I thought, we gotta chill the situation. So I picked like a 30 reais and gave the guy just so he would forget about the girl. But I wasn't really ever robbed like that with a gun or anything like that in real. I was with friends, four friends in a car going. It should have been what, 9, 10 p.m., going to a nightclub or something like that. And we were stopped in a like a wealthy neighborhood by a group of, we call them blitzes. It's when police stops, okay? When police stops a lot of cars to check it out. And then this guy, I remember his name, he was Sub-Lieutenant Andre. He was very aggressive, and my friend, whose father was a lawyer, knows that the police cannot search your car unless they have very plausible cause, and you have to accompany the person that is looking to see if the person is not gonna plant some evidence in there. And my friend said that to the guy, and the guy, this sub lieutenant, he went nuts, screaming at us like we were, and that was my first time ever, my first contact ever with any of the pigs. So what I'm trying to say is that I have never been like disrespected or mistreated by a pug. Let's put double quotes on there. But I have been in a situation where I was disrespected by the pigs, although the other guys that were with the lieutenant, who were probably lower rank than him, they didn't look like they were agreeing with what was going on. But then again, they didn't have a say in the situation because they were lower rank, and the lieutenant guy was the one that was in control. There were like a four of them: the lieutenant and the helpers. So let's put it like that. The other guys were. But that's the thing. When you join a police force, there is an excellent American movie with Al Pacino. What's the name again? My God, fuck! I told about you guys about it to you guys the other day. Okay, I'm gonna remember the name right now. So Al Pacino is this policeman, and he joins the police force, and then he immediately finds out that the police they use it to get like gifts from certain groups of people, so they would not mess with them, like being paid not to interfere with the business of the person they should be policing. And this guy, the character portrayed by Al Pacino, he refused to take part in the scheme. And then at first he was pressured by the other guys, and then it went as far as him getting shot and stuff. But that depicts a very real situation. Even this movie is from the 70s, but it's more current than ever, because you join the police force, you're gonna see all the dirt that is in there. You have two choices: either you join the party, the club, or you're gonna have a hard time in there. You're gonna be, harassed and anything else. So it's the same thing. Fuck, the name of the movie is the name of the character. It just slipping from my head. Hold on, I gotta look this up. All right, didn't even need to look it up. Just started typing IMDb and got it. It's Serpico.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's amazing movie. That's the name of Al Pacino in the movie. The character. Okay, okay. Let's. What is that you're doing?
It's a website, Little Sis. You can look at people and verified connections between them and make maps.
You remember the fucking Kevin Bacon game from a few years ago? Not too long ago. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. It was like they would look for your ancestry and stuff, and the our connections that you had, and the whole point was that everybody was connected to Kevin Bacon, the actor, at least in the
Yeah.
third degree. I didn't look it up, but I don't know exactly what they tested. It was a silly thing. Okay, but those maps, what are they about? It's just to see a map on screen, is that it?
Basically, they verified all of these different connections between people, and you can go on there and look up a person or a business or like a group like the Trilateral Commission, and look through all the people associated with it, or like the Democratic National Committee or the Republican National Committee, and see who's donated money to them, who does business with them, what businesses work with them. And through that, you can sort of build a map of influence. And one of the things I found interesting was I was messing with it the other day. And when you look at the two political parties in the United States, it's basically a fucking circle that goes back in on itself. Like everyone acts like, oh, we'll vote for the Democrats next time and they'll fix everything these dang Republicans got wrong. And it's like, no, they're not going to. They're at this point, they all work for the same fucking people. They get you guys to argue with each other, and then nothing's ever gonna improve. Like I was looking at one for the Louisville police in Kentucky.
Okay, and on that note, I would like to thank you, my fellow Americans, for having brought that system to Brazil in 2018 when Bolsonaro was first elected president, because our dear Mr. Trump sent his right-hand man back then, Steve Bannon, to coordinate Bolsonaro's campaign here in Brazil, and he did exactly that through extensive use of social media and fake news and stuff like that. He managed to establish a division of two here, which we did not have. You have had the Republican and Democrat stuff for ages now, but we did not have that here. We had like three, four strong candidates that all had a chance to advance to a face off a second election against each other, but now it's all about the Bolsonaro group or the Lula group. They divided the Brazilians onto, and that happened because Steve Bannon was sent here in 2018 to coordinate Bolsonaro's campaign and make things work the way they have always worked in the U.S. And now thanks everybody only thinks about this, like we're gonna vote for the fake right guy because we don't want the fake left guy
Yeah,
to
yeah.
become president or vice versa, and they all vote together when things interest them all, and they're all puppets of some higher power, hidden power. But what I'm saying is that before 2008 and 18, we had three, four candidates who had actually chances, and you don't have that anymore. Now it's either one of the groups or the other group, kind of like Democrats and Republicans. But in the U.S., it is institutionalized. You have
Yeah,
the big,
that's the problem
the,
here. It's the we literally can't vote for a third party candidate. We the way our elections are set up is they
no,
have to have
they
so
wouldn't
many
allow it.
votes.
Billionaires in the U.S. have tried that more than once to run independently, and they don't have the they can't beat the bipartisan system. And even though we don't have a bipartisan system here, the what happened is that we are now divided. We I mean Brazilians are now divided between this oh the left, oh the right is this, oh the left is that, oh, and they keep exchanging insults and blaming each other for whatever, and there is no government plan. There's nothing. It's all a show you better watch a movie than that shit show. And it's the same thing. Trump isn't nobody. He does what the people that handle him and handle his party tell them to do, and the same for the other side.
Well, yeah, that's something that kills me. People, when they elected Trump, they were like, oh, he's a businessman, he's outside the system. But all it took was a minor amount of research to see he's getting money from the same people that you have funded
That
every
the other
major
side,
politician.
yes.
And
Here is
then
most.
in Colorado right now, they're pushing this new I don't know, I can't. I think he's gonna. They're pushing for like governor of the state. His name's like Victor Marks. And you do a little bit of digging on him, the guy acts like he's outside the system. He's getting money from the same people that fund every politician that ever wins, whether he wins or not. He's in the fucking system. He's not gonna do anything different.
And that is what makes me I keep seeing that happen over and over again, and if I go, this is this is hard to believe. Are people so fucking dumb? But yes, they are, because they keep voting for the same people. And this guy, maybe he had I don't know about him. He has, I don't know if he has had an elective position before, but you keep seeing here in Brazil, probably in the US too, probably not, surely the same people that were elected before didn't do shit for anybody. You can clearly see that they have their own agenda, and they are doing somebody else's agenda, and people keep voting for them, and then re-electing these people. You know, and like you said, the Colorado guy, if anybody took the time to do a little bit of research, they would see that the guy is in the same circle as everybody else, just like him.
And that's the thing too. Like, even if the
No,
people don't realize, even the guy that's getting elected, because when I look into this guy, I don't even think that he is, like been compromised or something. I just think he has the ideals they're looking for. He's the type of person that they could push and influence. So they're going to fund him in a way that makes him look legitimate. I think they have people that are definitely bad actors that they train up and put in place. But a lot of the times it's just a guy who says, I own a business, I could run for office. And if he has the right politics and seems like he's easily enough to be influenced, these people
this-
push for them to get elected. They're never going to
mhm,
push for anyone with ideas that are outside of what they can control. I mean, you saw that with
exactly.
Bernie Sanders. I mean, he had tons of money. He had ideas that were different, that were very popular. A lot of people liked Bernie Sanders, and they fucking torched him so that he couldn't get on the ballot.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders was one of the best examples. I compare him to a guy here in Brazil called Ciro Gomes, uh, who ended up with 3% in last presidential election. Like Bernie Sanders is the kind of guy that you know that if he took office, he would amass into stuff that the people, the powers that be, wouldn't want to be that anybody messed with it. So they will never allow a guy like Sanders be elected. I'm not even arguing that I agree or disagree with whatever of his ideas are. What I mean is he's a much more genuine politician than the ones that will get elected. He would probably do some actual changes which would hurt some powerful people's interests. So they would never allow him to get elected. Both sides would turn on him and bombard him, just like happened to this Brazilian guy that I mentioned that ended up with a 3%. This guy in Brazil, he has a book with like a development project for Brazil. With the book sold over 200,000 copies, which is a lot for a book on politics. And nowadays, selling books is not an easy thing. And he ended up with 3% of the votes because people want a savior. They want that thing that you were talking about. That guy that looks nice, talks exactly what people want to hear, and does good, does the theater well, and this guy's gonna save us, as if they were voting for a messiah. Yes, Mankind said 100%. You guys are right. My question is, how do we get out of this cesspit? Because it's not gonna be through. voting because what happened and then there's a problem with what I am going to say. People are not able to vote. Even intelligent, cultured people, they fall for these traps. You did, Blake, when Trump was electing. You were happy. You were talking about money. You remember that. Then you started to see.
I really enjoyed seeing you get upset.
No, 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 no. You were boasting about that at all. Everybody saw that. And then you changed in a couple of months because you saw you were smart enough to see where things were leading. And but my point is that even educated, even cultured people are gonna fall.
I'll tell you right now, Pedro gets mad when you disagree with him. That's the only reason he says that shit. Because I don't. I would disagree with him on stuff.
That, you asked me what a de facto something was. For example, Brazil and the U.S. Are they democracies? Well, technically, but they are de facto dictatorships because you think that you are choosing someone, but you actually are not. You have two, typically now for us and for a long time for you, two candidates that you kind of have to swallow one of them. So, and both of them, uh, if you dig deeper, you're gonna see that both of them get money and are supported by the same groups, maybe some by a specific group, but they are all supported by elites, by the ones with money, by the powers, the hidden powers in the country. So, is this democracy? That's what I call kind of a no, it's not me that calls, it's the meaning of the expression. Like in Russia, Putin is gonna he keeps getting reelected every time because if anybody goes in and doesn't vote for Putin, they're gonna be in trouble. So there is voting. It is technically a democracy, but it is a de facto dictatorship
Well,
because
we're
you
not
know
even
the
really a
outcome.
democracy. The United States is a republic. Like, one of the big things we need to do is just throw the electoral college out. We have laws written
Don't
for
even get me started on that. Everybody
voting.
agrees that that thing is fucked up.
You vote for the president. They are legally allowed to change your vote. They could say, hey, the electoral representatives, we think our people voted bad, so we're going to vote for someone else. They're allowed to do that.
Yeah,
We
this
place our
electoral.
votes, so another person that's supposed to take our votes and mimic them will cast a vote for us. But they're allowed to do whatever they want. They
Yeah,
don't
mostly
have to vote the way we do.
they don't have to, but they mostly will. But then there is an interesting thing about that because like when Hillary Clinton she ran against Trump. And if you counted the actual number of votes, she would have won because she had more votes than Trump. But since the thing is structured as this Jesus electoral college, this is so I don't have words for it because of the amount of the how do you call them? I forget it. The guys that form the college. Anyways, in the electoral college, Trump had the majority, so he won. But if you counted the actual votes, Hillary had more votes than Clinton. So the person that ended up, I'm not defending Hillary Clinton and much less Donald Trump. I'm just stating the facts that if you counted the votes, the actual votes, she would have won the election because more people voted for her than for Trump. But when you divide the things to achieve the figures to form the electoral college, then Trump won there. It's not even backwards. It's just plain stupid.
Yes, I agree. It makes no
Yeah,
sense.
everybody agrees, but who's gonna do anything to change it?
I don't know. You probably don't know this because it's more niche American politics, but there's a big upset about, I think it's the state of Tennessee. They just they restructured their districts so that the one district left that was still voting Democrat is now Republican. And it's got
Blake, I sent you this news.
everyone's upset about it. But I mean, the fact of the matter is,
Blake, it was me who sent you this news.
I mean, it's on the fucking radio here.
Okay, but I sent you the link to when I saw it. I can remember where I saw it. It was a district that actually the majority was black, and they voted Democrat, and then they divided into three districts. And when divided, the three districts were red, Republican, which is like a shameless manipulation of everything that you can think of.
But
And who is going to do anything about it?
in my opinion, though, this is just more. It's just more propaganda. They get people upset about the gerrymandering, and then people forget that. Hey, if we voted Democrat, do you think housing prices would come down? Do you think we would actually get more freedoms? Do you think jobs would go up and things would stabilize? The things that matter for quality of life consistently get worse under both parties, but people still fight and act like their fucking sports team could get us a win. Oh, if our guys win, it'll get better.
Exactly. That was what I keep telling. And I am starting to see people putting it in that exact way. It is not an election, it's people rooting for a team, as if they were rooting for two major teams instead of choosing a program of government, like a real program of government, because it's very easy to say, I'm going to create 100,000 jobs, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Okay, but now tell me how you intend to do that. Detail the steps to create those jobs, to build those new houses and to lower the rent prices and etc. Then they are now gonna change the subject. And that's what happens. They create two messiah-like personalities, and it's like people were rooting for two sports teams. In Brazil, it's football, the real one, and that's how people vote because this is my team and that is not my team. It's that thing that I keep telling you about. People are so fucking empty that they need something to attach themselves to complete the lack of personality that they have. So they use this like rooting for a football team. I could never understand somebody like spending their lives, because most of the average people that you meet, if you meet somebody here in Brazil, they're gonna be talking, did you watch the match of us, that team last Sunday? And but, it's all about that. What the fuck does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. The people who play, the owners of the clubs the owners of the teams don't give a fucking damn about anybody, and people spend their lives like even fighting. And here in Brazil, sometimes there are deaths because two like big crowds that support different teams sometimes clashes, and then there are fights and somebody ends up being killed. And what the fuck for? That doesn't have any meaning at all. I mean, if it was like a team from your town, your neighborhood, that would make some sense because that there would be a connection. But you probably, the same thing probably happens there. People in Colorado rooting for a team from New York or something like that, that doesn't have anything identity-wise with them. They don't know the people. They are not associates with the club that owns the team or whatever like that. and like their whole lives kind of go around those matches and
Nah, it
wins.
happens all the time. People root for fucking teams on the other side of the country they have zero association with. They say, "Oh, I just like that team." Like people like the Raiders or the Broncos or whatever it is.
Hmm.
I mean, whenever I lived in like Lexington, Kentucky, I liked seeing the UK Wildcat basketball team play because I went to that college. Seeing the team that was going to the same school I was going to, it was fun. But when I left the school and I left the state, I didn't keep watching the
There was some
team.
connection there.
Yeah,
That
it's not like I kept watching it though. Whenever I went to the next state over, I had no fucking real connection to the team anymore. All the people had changed. They have a new coach. I don't even live in the area anymore. I don't know how people have these emotional attachments. And it's just another entertainment industry. These
but
sports teams for the
even then,
colleges make more money than the college, and they
yeah,
take
yeah,
money away
totally,
from the
totally.
student funds to fund people to play basketball and have an entertainment industry.
Yeah,
It makes no sense. It
that
should
is
fund
something
the school, not the school fund the entertainment.
that is something I have always found so surreal in the US because we don't have that here. Like people who get scholarships and stuff because they are good basketball players or whatever. It's just marketing. It's so crazy. They get a person in through like to and through university. They sponsor them because they are good basketball players or whatever sports you want to be. That is really fucked up. But in your case, you had some connection with the team, and even if you moved out, you still had your roots there. I can see. Like the only thing I really watch is the World Cup of real football that's gonna happen in the US this year. It happens every 4 years, even though FIFA, the organization that coordinates football all over the world, is as corrupt as you can be. So, if I'm not mistaken, there are going to be matches in the U.S. The U.S. is the official host, but there are also going to be matches in Mexico and Canada. But you'll be hosting again because the U.S. hosted a World Cup not too long ago. There are many people in the US trying to push the real football to become more mainstream, which is a good thing. At least we get rid of the other one, the fake one. And the rules for the World Cup have always been the country that hosts the tournament automatically has a place. It doesn't need to qualify for the World Cup. So the US team is going to be playing, but since it's kind of a co-host to the World Cup because uh, if I'm not mistaken, there's gonna be games in Canada and Mexico. So I don't know if Mexico and Canada are also automatically qualified to participate, and the winner of the previous World Cup is automatically classified to play the next World Cup, which is gonna happen now. They increased the number of teams. It was 32 countries. Now they upped it to 48 countries. Just like a kind of a marketing move because the more countries are involved, the more countries are more into watching the thing, and they can market stuff for more people. Brazil is the country that has won the most World Cup of the real football, but it all has gone downhill since like the 1990s. The Brazilian selection, as we call them, the seleção, is very bad, apparently. I attribute that to the fact that before, like until the late 80s, most players played for Brazilian teams. So they kind of knew each other. They kind of knew how the other ones played. and then they started to go and playing in Europe or even Pelé, which is regarded as the best footballer ever. He played for Cosmos, probably before you were born, a team in the US when they were trying to push football to become to start becoming known in the US. And what happens is, since most of the players that are gonna be called to form the Brazilian team, they don't play in Brazil. They play in Italy, they play in Spain, in the UK. So you get this bunch of people who have no kind of any interaction with each other for the previous 4 years, and then you put them together. There is no way that's gonna work because football
Yeah.
is a very team oriented sport. If you don't have the whole team very synchronized, it's gonna everybody's gonna be fucked up. I have a one I think that only people who played for that there should be a rule about that. Only people who played for their country in their country during the 4 years before the World Cup can be can participate, can be a part of the team that is going to represent the country. If they want to go play uh, in any other country abroad to earn more or whatever, okay, they're free to do that, but they cannot be part of the team that is going to represent the country. This is one of my ideas, but and some people agree, but most people don't give a fucking damn. It's all just a party to them. Brazilians like to party a lot, you know. If I go here to the corner and try to get like 6, 10 people to stage some kind of protest in front of the city hall because the city hospital is falling apart, no, I don't have the time. Blah, blah, blah. If I go into there's gonna be some kind of event here with free beer and the bands and stuff, you're gonna see 30, 60,000 people here in my town filling up the street to enjoy the thing. Nobody wants you to the serious thing. They want the old Roman panis et circenses,
Bread
which
and
means
circus.
yes, bread and circus. That's what the populace want.
That's what
Throw
we
them.
have. We have football and fucking McDonald's.
You, everybody. Maybe in the smaller European countries and the countries that have a more homogeneous culture, it's not multicultural, like Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark. Now Italy, not so much anymore.
No,
Spain,
I mean
maybe.
even Sweden. I got a buddy who lives over there. He says they flooded in so many immigrants so fast. I mean, there's nothing wrong with immigration, but they're
No,
bringing in
yeah,
so many of them so fast they don't acclimate to the local culture.
exactly. The problem that happened in Europe, it started with Germany like in the 60s because they let a lot of Turkish people in and because they wanted cheap workers. So the Turkish would work for like a fifth or a sixth of the salary of the Germans. So and then it became a problem because if you want to move to, let's say, Japan, move to live there, you cannot want to impose your ways into the Japanese. You're gonna have to adapt to the Japanese way because you are moving there. And these people move to various European countries. It's mostly Turkish and people from that area of the Middle East, and they move to the places, and they don't want to adapt to they want to keep living in like as if they were in their country of origin. That led to a huge problem in France because France is very Brazil. What is the term again? Is laico. I forgot the word in English. It's as if the state is like, the state has no religion. It cannot have a religion. But that's not how things work in practice in Brazil or in the US. But France takes that very seriously. Like you cannot have religious symbols in classrooms or any public state spaces at all. And then these Muslim people started going there and wanted to use burqas and keep living the same lifestyle. And France banned the hiding the face and all the stuff. And that leads to a lot of conflicts inside the countries, but what I was talking about is let's ignore those immigrants. Let's only think of the original population. It is manageable because it's like people who belong to a kind of the same mindset. Of course, people are different, but it's less different than say the Brazilian states or the United States when you talk about a tiny country like Denmark or Finland or even, but then again, even Belgium, they want to separate. They are like smaller than most Brazilian states, and the part that speaks the Flemish, which is basically Dutch, wants to separate from the part that speaks French, because and there's no real point. Okay, maybe we should start thinking of doing some gaming because
I
like I
think
was
this was very good. I think this is very educational.
I was said we were talking about that earlier on Steam. This is not a political channel. This was supposed to be light entertainment and fun. And if we keep going into political issues, okay, that's your
If we
decision.
get too deeper, I'm
You
gonna have
are
a knock on the door.
you are the maybe you are the boss. If it were up to me, I would make some very wide, deep changes because I know, I like the thing deep and wide.
Hold on. I'm gonna restart the stream. Hey guys,
And
Blask here with my friend Pedro. We're gonna play some
mhm,
video games tonight. Woo!
I'm gonna get a drink.
Is that how we should do it? We should start like, whoa, hey, what?